You are listening to a Dynamic Works Productions podcast. This show is available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio Network, and many, many more podcast services around the world. You can find all our content, music, videos, books, podcasts, and more on our website, www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Have questions, comments, or concerns for us? Head on over to the social tab on www.dynamicworksproductions.com if you'd like to talk to us. Now, on with the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Fork in Your Ear podcast. I'm your host, as always, author, podcaster, gamer, Tim K.A. Trotter. Joining me from across these United States is the Buster of Knuckles, the Blister of Listers, the one, the only, Mike List.
How's it going, Tim?
It's, I'm running on laptop power because the power shit the bed where I'm at, and I'm tethered to my phone, so we'll see how long we can make this last. It's a race against the clock.
It's like 24, but better.
It's more like 2.
It's like, yeah, 2.
It's more like 2. And Mike, you want to introduce our very special guest today?
I certainly will, Tim. You've heard the man giggle already, and I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of chuckles during this episode. Fork fam, I would like to introduce you to one of my good buddies. I would say, I don't know what instrument he plays, but he is a member of a band called the Bone Setters. I've listened to his music. He is a podcaster starting Side Quest Sunday. He is a streamer. He is my buddy. He will be your buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Danfinity.
Oh, hello. Hi.
How's it going, buddy?
I'm Dan. I'm doing well. Thanks for inviting me to do this with you guys.
Fantastic.
I don't know if you know this, Dan, but I think you're the first guest for this iteration of Fork in Your Ear.
Oh my!
Yeah, I would.
So hold on 1 second here. I think that adds me to. I think I've been the first guest of 2 podcasts now.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's fun. That's real fun.
There you go. It's a prestigious award awarded to only those who join in on podcasts who. From other co-hosts who don't tell me we're also doing a Netflix commentary show while simultaneously the power goes out and I don't even know what the fuck my weather is doing on. So I live in Washington State. We have 10 miles an hour winds right now. It was fucking sunny a second ago. Then it was raining. Then limbs were falling in my backyard. And now it's sunny again and I see blue sky and my power is still out. I don't know what the fuck is happening anymore.
So
welcome to Fork in Your Ear.
Oh man, that sounds like Indiana. Just wait 5 minutes.
Oh, does it?
It'll all be over. Oh my
okay.
God.
Sounds good. Alrighty. So, I don't know much about you, Mr. Dan, other than I guess you were previously part of something to do with the Destiny Tracker site.
Yeah. So, I used to be on the DTR podcast. With Jay and J Ram, and Pubin used to be on there, and it was a whole plethora of co-hosts, and I was the co-host that read the advertisement, so that was a lot of fun. Got to interview a lot of really interesting people like Holtzman, and my name is Bife.
Oh, right on.
It was really fun, and about shortly after, I want to say like in October or November is when I stopped co-hosting for them. and I've been streaming. I'm a Twitch affiliate. Danfinity,
nice.
Danfinity.
You will have to tell me how to get my my rank up to get to affiliate there, good sir.
Well,
share your streamer tips. Yeah,
we can talk about that off the air.
But do I need my pants or no?
If it's my recipe, no.
I told you, Tim. He'll fit in well. Didn't I tell you he'd fit in well with us?
You did.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's just been kind of chilling out for the past couple months and getting ready to get Side Quest Sunday off the ground. That is the podcast where I will be interviewing different content creators about like why they create the things they create, more about their past.
Oh my god, that sounds awesome.
Well, because like everybody comes from like a creative background or a background that is way more interesting than just the thing that they make.
Oh, absolutely.
Know? So that's what I'm kind of looking to get into. I'm looking for meandering conversation. I'm looking for a side quest to release every Sunday. So
that sounds fantastic.
I came up with a game that we're going to play at the end called 5 Minute RPG.
Ooh, that sounds dope.
There's going to be a character that is created on the first episode, and we're going to see how long it lasts between all the different guests before it dies.
That sounds amazing.
So
I love it.
It should be fun.
That sounds fantastic.
Dan, you do know you're talking to two old school D&D Pathfinder nerds, right?
Dude, I'm excited. I want to have both of you on, actually. The thing is, so it's only going to be 50-50 chances. No dice. Just a coin toss.
That sounds fantastic.
And it's like, okay, did you hit him? And I'll have a random number generator.
Yeah.
RNG cast to tell you how much damage he did. And then we move on from there.
Well, speaking of random number generators, I don't know if you know how Fork in Your Ear typically works, but we have 4 categories of topics, right? Okay. So we talk about life, stuff that's happened to you, entertainment, movies, TV, books, video games, and also technology, like cool stuff like SpaceX and all that sort of stuff. And actually, what we've been doing since... Oh, fuck. I think it's like the fucking 5th reboot of this podcast. I actually have a spin ring, like for D&D, and I've got it assigned to Earth, Fire, Wind, and Water. And so we spin, and that's the topic. We go off in that particular direction until, it dies a cold, horrible death.
That's awesome. I'm down. Let's do this.
Yes, fantastic. So also, I guess you guys are doing a movie podcast simultaneously that I can't see.
You're left out of this situation.
Okay, sounds
We're going to be watching this movie. It's called A Futile and Stupid Gesture.
Okay.
On Netflix.
Okay.
It is about Doug Kinney, one of the creators of National Lampoon magazine, and it's directed by Sir David Wayne. He's not a sir.
Is that the one that's got the actors who were like playing Chevy Chase and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah. So
I wanted to see that. Damn it! Now I want to see the thing, but I can't.
Here's what I'm thinking, Tim. Ready?
What?
We give this movie commentary a postponement.
Oh, okay.
We have Dan come back.
That sounds good.
Because not only will he be the first guest, he will be the first returning guest.
Okay.
When your power comes back on, and we can just do that. This will be his, remember when we did the Ages of the Nine, a Destiny podcast, and you guys called me and pretended it was like a non-recorded interview?
Yeah.
And then midway through, you guys said, "Oh, by the way, we're recording this."
Yeah.
Sort of like that. We'll let Dan get his feet wet. You know what I mean?
Sounds good. That sounds good.
Let this be the possum in the what was it, Dan? A possum in your laundry room?
Oh,
dude, that was the scariest moment of my life.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
Well, do tell our wonderful listeners.
Dan, time out. Dan, are you okay with that? To come back?
Oh,
of course I'm okay to come back.
Fantastic.
Because Tim wants to watch this movie. I want to watch this movie with you and Tim.
Yeah,
you're two of my good buddies.
I saw this trailer Wednesday, and I was like, "That looks fucking good."
Dude, I've seen it three times now.
Really?
It's
wow.
It's good. It's really good.
Sweet.
I love David Wayne films.
Okay.
And like Wet Hot American Summer.
I do
They
like
came
Wet
together.
Hot
That kind of like goofy, slapsticky kind of humor.
Yeah,
And this
it's almost too much, but it's like the right amount of cheese.
Oh my! There's so much in this movie that you have to experience.
Mm-hmm.
I can't give it away. I can't give it away because
Okay.
there's just so much.
Well, then
that's in here.
I'm eternally grateful
silly.
that you're willing for a postponement, even though we are rolling right now, and I have no idea how far we are into recording because I have my screen off because I'm on battery power.
We're about 12 minutes in.
Let's fantastic. 12 minutes in. Shit's already hit the fan.
I like 17 minutes and 22 seconds in, and the rock. And we have crashed into the rocks, folks.
Fantastic.
So go ahead, Tim. Give it a spin.
Okay,
buddy.
well let's give this a spin here. So here we go. Let's get right close up to the mic. Get that nice spin action.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and we have landed on Earth, which correlates to technology. So the only thing I had written down on technology this week was Elon Musk, who me and Mike talked a shitload about last week because of the SpaceX Falcon 9 launch. I guess he's stepping down from both SpaceX and Tesla to form a new company that I guess he's had his hands in since 2011 that's basically going to be a drug that does... Has anybody seen the movie or TV show Limitless?
Yeah.
I saw the previews.
Okay. So the premise of Limitless is, which is a fantastic Bradley Cooper movie and book, highly recommend it, is somebody invents a drug called NZT. And what it does is it hyperactivates, like what's the age-old saying, you only use 10% of your brain. What about the other 90% or whatever? So this allows you to access 100% of your brain, and basically it allows you to absorb any information like a sponge, do like calculation. It basically makes you like the smartest person in the world.
So it's super Adderall.
Yeah. The catch is that the NDT in the Limitless film and book is it would like wear off in like 12 hours. So you would need a constant supply of it. So literally what Elon Musk
acid.
Yes.
Functional acid, I guess.
Highly functional acid.
There you go.
Okay, we're gonna come back to that, buddy.
Well, Jesus, if we're going to acid, I need to get my buddy Jay on here because he's got some stories, man. But I don't have the article in front of me because of my limited technological capabilities at the moment. But essentially, Elon Musk, I guess, is pretty far along in developing basically this NZT drug, but in real life, that will like hyperactivate the brain and allow you to be super smart and also fix repair centers in the body. Like it sounds like
it's healing factor?
Yeah, it sounds like basically you're gonna stab mutant X gene into you and you're all gonna be good. Fucking Elon Musk, man. Like it's like driving cars and lithium ion batteries. Solar panels.
He's got to be a supervillain.
Space.
There's no way. Like even supervillains sometimes do good things. This oh man, there's no way he's not a supervillain in like the next 20 years.
You know what's funny about this? When I read this article, there's actually a Marvel comic book storyline for Iron Man called Superior Iron Man, in which he moves to San Francisco and he invents. I think it was like a watch or a phone or something, but I don't know. It injected something into you, and it would like make old people young, and like you'd live forever and stuff.
What? It had something to do with extremists, right?
No, it was actually he had used nanite parts to air quotes control the Venom symbiote. So he was injecting Venom symbiotes into everybody. I mean, he actually turned out to be the villain at the end of the comic book arc, and actually Daredevil of all people had to stop him.
I remember that because that was during that like that event where when Hulk got sad, he turned into Sulk.
And I don't know that one, but okay.
Oh my god, it was that era in Marvel, which was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago.
Was that shit?
Yeah, and wasn't that the one with the big had like the Watchers or like the mind powers, and it was revealed that it was really Tony Stark who had fucked with the bomb that blew up that actually gave the gamma radiation to Bruce Banner?
Dude, no. There's just too much history to really tell anymore when that happened in the Marvel universe. I'm sure that came out at some point.
Fair enough.
Sure that's the storyline, but like I didn't read that one.
Fair enough. So I don't have any other data on this Elon Musk thing. So if either of you want to like Google it for some more data,
I'm looking it up right now.
That would be appreciated.
And so this is on theverge.com.
Okay, great website in my opinion.
Yeah. And he's like, over time, I think we'll probably see a closer merger of biological intelligence and digital intelligence. He added, it's mostly about the bandwidth, the speed of the connection between your brain and the digital version of yourself, particularly. Dude, this just sounds like cyborgs. he's working on acid cyborgs, and it's we all should be very afraid.
We should be afraid.
He's like Lex Luthor now.
Yeah.
If he runs for president, he'll get it, right? Like,
sure. I mean,
yeah.
Okay, so I guess that would be a complicated thing. And I know one of our rules on the show is no talking of religion or politics, but hypothetically, Elon Musk...
We're not talking about politics. We're just talking about the hypothetical.
Yeah.
We're finding, because Lex Luthor ran for president and won. We're just saying...
It's true. That was not a great thing.
Elon Musk, kind of like Lex Luthor in this situation. Could he have, if theoretically, could he run for president? I mean, he can't because he's not a national. I mean, maybe he is. I don't know. I know he's from South Africa. If he ran and won, do you think he'd be like, free wonder drug for everyone?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I mean, you see, remember that Tesla had like free energy before anybody else.
That's
and
true.
He died penniless. So like,
it's entirely true
as well.
Yeah. So there's going to be whatever it is that he has to offer. There's going to be a price tag involved. But like from some of what I'm seeing in this article, just skimming through, like part of what he's talking about, Brian Johnson,
okay,
who's the co-founder of a startup called Kernel.
Okay.
He said, we know that if we put a chip in the brain and release electrical signals, that we can ameliorate symptoms of Parkinson's. Mm-hmm. So it's like, all right, maybe he's not a bad guy after all. Like anybody who's doing research to try to make humanity better off health-wise, especially with Parkinson's patients, I can't.
Sure.
I don't know, man.
It is. I think you bring up the good point. It is a catch-22. It's like,
yeah,
Lex Luthor did a lot of good things too.
Yeah,
but at the same time, so did Obadiah Stane of Stark. It's murdered a lot of people, but you didn't know about that because that was not the face he presented.
Exactly.
And you have to wonder if like Elon Musk like ordered a hit out on somebody. It's probably not a person. It's probably a robot ninja cyborg.
Or whoever was the first person to take the drug, when he hits the button, it takes over their body, coats them in like a black nanotech suit.
Oh my god.
And also mind control, right?
Yeah.
Like I guess that's
so a Manchurian Candidate type situation.
Okay.
See?
How fucking far have we fallen down this rabbit hole? Elon Musk is Lex Luthor.
I gotta shuffle this digging down, buddy.
All right.
Are we using Elon Musk's boring?
Allegedly, if Elon Musk were to hire a hit out on somebody, It would be a crazy cyborg ninja, probably in the first class of these acid ninjas. They'd be so out of their gourd, they wouldn't even know what was going on. They'd think that they were plucking like flowers or something.
And then pulling people's fingers off.
Exactly. Yeah. They don't even know their own strength. That's terrifying.
Well, shit. Okay, so
I have a theory that the dummy, I'm using air quotes here, inside that Tesla is one of Elon Musk's like enemies that he was like putting in the Tesla.
Or it's the first cyborg ninja.
Test out to see if
he's colonizing Mars on his own.
He's creating Martians.
Oh my
god. Okay, he's creating Martians so that they can attack Earth and somehow spin this into him becoming the emperor of the galaxy. Yeah?
Wow.
Can we all get on this really runaway train?
It sounds good. It sounds like all a book that I'm going to write.
That's what's happening. Oh my god. That's it. I have to call coast to coast. Know what's going on.
Oh man. Okay, so well that was obviously a very interesting topic for everybody here. Anybody else got anything on the technology category before we move on?
I think we went too deep in technology. You can spin it, Tim.
Okay.
Just spin it, buddy.
All right. Sounds good.
Goddamn.
All right. We have landed on... The fuck is water? What did I list as water? Water is entertainment, movies, TV, and books. All right. Somebody else besides me go so that it doesn't turn into another taking over the universe plot.
No promises.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, let's see. I watched that Netflix movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I guess it was good.
Oh, it's so good, man. Like anything Will Forte's in, you just know the quality of his work is going to filter through to the entire cast, and like it's so incredibly well written. Like the first time that I remember seeing Will Forte on anything, it was an SNL sketch.
Okay.
And it was the week that Tenacious D hosted. And it was a spelling bee. And so like I think it was Bill Hader. He was the pronouncer of the term. And it was something so easy as like cabbage. He was, all right, and the word is cabbage. Cabbage. I have a head of cabbage in the refrigerator. Will Forte gets up there, and he just starts going, all right. C A B B Q R T C D, and he just kept going for like a good solid minute with just a string of random letters after that. And it was I hadn't seen comedy like that before. Now, granted, that's one of those like Andy Kaufman type gags where it's just so non sequitur that like as the joke keeps going on, it becomes more funny and then less funny, and it just cycles back and forth between that. Ever since then, Will Forte has been my favorite cast member on SNL. I don't know. There's just something about him that does that for me. I watched Last Man on Earth because of him. I've watched this movie because of him, and then that spiraled into like a David Wayne love as well. I don't know. That's what I did this week, other than play video games and watch Steven Universe.
Fair enough. I've never actually seen Steven Universe. Is it good?
Dude, it is amazing. It's each episode's about 15 minutes. You can watch it on Hulu.
Okay.
That's a bonus.
Okay.
It's more a slice of life Dragon Ball Z is what I would call it, because the lore gets really, really deep pretty quick. when you're talking about Steven, but it all takes place in Beach City, which is like, which is where they live. Steven is, Steven is like, I got to start all over. There's these things called crystal gems.
Okay.
And the crystal gems are protecting Earth
okay.
from other like gems that are out in the universe, right?
Okay.
That's the long and the short of it. One of the gems, ruby quartz or rose quartz, excuse me, she falls in love with a man.
Oh wait. The gems are people?
Kind of.
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
And so she fell in love with a man who used to be a rock and roller, and they had a son, Steven.
Okay.
And in order for Steven to be born, Rose had to die.
All right.
So you had
he's totally not Star-Lord. Got it.
Exactly. And like his the other three gems that were in her like entourage or like her group, they are raising Steven and teaching him how to use his powers because he has like a myriad amount of them.
Okay.
And all the while he's constantly fighting his feelings for like being human, his like what it means to be human, what it means to like grieve the loss of someone that you never really got to know. And on top of all of this, there's this cosmic war that's basically going on that he's somehow smack dab in the middle of. And they'll alternate episodes where it gets really like lore heavy for like 4 episodes, and then for 2 episodes they'll give you backstory on like, oh well, his dad was a rock and roll singer.
Okay, so like that sounds fantastic. What would you call like the tone of the show? What would you compare it to? Because the reason I'm asking is so like my Saturday morning ritual before podcasting, at least I guess up to this week, because I guess I don't have any more episodes now, is I've been watching the 2017 reboot of Ducktales, which is the best fucking thing ever. God damn it. But I don't have any more episodes, so I'm like, fuck, I need another another juicy, will tickle the child inside of me, but will also like make me feel like I'm an adult. Does it cater to both?
On the head. It hits that on the head so hard.
Because I have Hulu, I'll check it out.
Because it has those like, it has those funny things that happen. Like one of the episodes, Steven creates a watermelon version of himself, and the watermelon version of himself goes off and populates an island. And it's like just super goofy, cheesy kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then you'll, like I said, you'll have these episodes that are like Dragon Ball Z that connect 3 to 4 episodes.
Okay.
Where like the crystal gems can merge and form other characters.
Okay.
As well. So they're like it's bonkers. It's just bonkers. But like underlying all of it is about these relationships that they all have, because you're not able to merge, you're not able to create like the piece that you need in order to combine, unless you have a really good relationship with the person that you're trying to combine with. And so all of the crystal gems are female, by the way. And so that has its own like that has its own thing for it, like about feminine power, and it's awesome. But then you have I don't know. It's got something for everybody.
Okay. I'm convinced, man. I'm convinced. Yeah. I'm down to check it out. I need something new.
Go through a season in like 6 hours, maybe.
How many seasons do they got?
4. There's 4 episodes on Hulu, and it's super good.
Okay. Sounds good.
Also, Steven is the only male gem.
Yes, Steven is the only male gem.
Okay. Because he has doesn't he have a gem in his belly button?
He has a gem in his belly button. That is correct.
All righty then.
It's very similar to like Adventure Time, Regular show.
I've not seen either of
those. A little less than regular show. Regular show is actually a little bit. I feel like regular show is a little bit more adult than Steven Universe gets.
Yeah.
But it's like man, it's just solid all the way. The one thing that I will say is I would stay away from the fandom. The fandom for Steven Universe can get a little hairy, and it's
as hairy as the fandom for Rick and Morty, who frickin' overturned the McDonald's.
Dude.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Really?
So because it deals kind of with gender politics.
Okay.
And those sorts of issues, if you draw someone the wrong way, like there have been times where people have gone after people who've made fan art because somebody's not drawn the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just like the I'm sure it's just like anything. It's just like Destiny. It's
I was gonna say it sounds just like any other popular thing that has some toxic community associated with it, like Whoop-de-Doo 2018.
The overall community is probably just pretty all right, but then you have some people that just need to complain about something.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's I don't know. It's a really solid show. I love just putting on an episode and just watching them. It's super easy to run through, and I don't know. It gives me the warm and fuzzies. I actually almost cried during an episode.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. So Ducktales, this reboot, every fucking time the new reboot song, which sounds just as good if not better than the original theme, I fucking cry. I'll fucking admit it. I'll fucking admit it. Every goddamn time when life is like a fucking hurricane, you know? Like, that's what I do. Damn it. So, that's fine.
Dude, yeah, it's fine to cry. I cried to a Justin Timberlake music video 2 weeks ago.
Fair enough.
Yeah. It was the one, I don't know if you're familiar with LeBlagatek.
I am not.
Okay. What about you, Buster? Are you familiar
with Logitech? No.
With Logitech, he said something totally different, dude.
But truth be told, I have cried as well to Steven Universe.
Okay.
It's just
I mean I cried while eating a donut once, so
I mean, I'll be honest too. So that like I did some work in Alaska, and there's this shop outside of Juneau Airport, and they make these maple bacon donut bars. And I'll be goddamned if every time it's not just, full emotional, oh my god, this is the best thing ever.
Oh my god.
So, just saying.
I think like 2 episodes I cried. I looked over, Jess was tearing up, and she was like, stupid fucking show, and I'm like, yeah, right?
Oh my god, there was an episode where I don't know if you're to this point yet, Buster, but it's like Steven realizes that he can fly, and like he can float, and it's based on his emotions. If he's feeling really great, he like catapults up into the air, or he can catapult up into the air. When he becomes sad, he starts plummeting. And so in order to fall, he has to kind of find this odd like medium. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he's trying to think of he was trying to think of like happy thoughts or sad thoughts to keep him from going all the way out to space.
I love how this show started off as because I feel like a cave dweller right now, to we're totally not doing a commentary, to Elon Musk is going to kill the fucking universe, to the emotional man show about cartoons.
I'm in season 2.
Okay.
So
I think it's in I think it's a tail end of season 2 that you find out about Steven, but I mean I actually have it the opposite way. He's trying to think of something he's just constantly rising at like a very slow pace. And so he's trying to think of like he realizes what made him catapult up. So he's trying to think of things, and he thinks of his mom, and he goes, "Oh, that's complicated." Like the amount of times that I've had that thought about my parents
yeah
is like I just connected to that, and there's moments of infinite glee, infinite happiness in Steven Universe, and then you have one of the saddest shows.
Sounds awesome. I'm gonna check it out, dude.
It's
But
so
you
good.
mentioned gender politics in there, and that's a nice segue for me to talk about the amazing Netflix show, which I barely got a chance to talk about last week's episode, which is Altered Carbon. Who's been watching that?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh
I
my
haven't
goodness!
seen any of it.
Okay, so
it's
do you
it's
know?
a slow slog for me.
Oh yeah, how far are you into it,
Yeah.
Mike?
3.
Okay, see, it doesn't pick up until 4.
Yeah.
Because there's so much exposition because they're just dumped into this world, and it's just like it's so rich. So what do you know anything about Altered Carbon?
I know I only know so much. I know as much as what Crucible Radio told me when they were sponsored by Netflix for 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
Okay, well, I don't know what they said on that sponsorship there.
It was just a 30-second ad thing. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But no, I brought up gender politics because Altered Carbon deals with that a shitload. Because the universe is based around the fact that there is no death anymore, and everybody's consciousness lives in a chip that's basically in your neck vertebrae, and at any time, your body can have death, and you can be, as they call it in the show, re-sleeved into a new body, and it doesn't have to be what you had originally. You could have a granny's body, you could have a chick body, you could have a really like fucked up like rhinoceros looking body, you could have, it doesn't matter, you know. Okay. So the whole world has this insane thing of like there's a plot line I think in the early things there that you've probably seen, Mike, where there's this Hispanic cop, and she wants to bring her father back in a sleeve because I guess he died or something. But because of the way I guess they're neo-Catholics, they don't believe in like re-sleeving, so they can't be like brought back to life. But she's like against it, and she has like all these fights with her mother about it, and as kind of like a little fu to her mother, and sorry if this is spoilers, Mike, she brings her grandmother back who didn't subscribe to this like neo-Catholicism thing, but her grandmother's in the body of this like 6'2" roided out methed up like drug dealer guy who's like got like fucking like barbed wire chain tattoos and stuff, and it's it's insane, and it's awesome, and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Dan, you dig it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to know why the space pope has anything to say about my new body.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's up to I suppose it's based off of a book series, a book writer, and probably, you know, the showrunners and writers. But it's an interesting thing, though. You know, I think that you've got this thing where people are living like 500 years or whatever, and you know you're getting changed in different bodies, and at the same time, to kind of go back a little bit to like the Elon Musk sort of like controlling the world sort of thing. You know, it's like you're getting to, especially in Altered Carbon, it's like, oh, you lost your arm. Well, do you want the bionic one that can punch through fucking 10 cars? Like, sure, of course you do. You know?
So is this a post money society that we're talking about?
So the premise of like the first 10 minutes of the show and like any trailer you'll watch is there's this dude called Kovacs, and he is basically killed because he's like a space terrorist or something like that.
Okay.
And he dies, and he wakes up in a totally different body, but it's like 500 years later. So everybody he knows and loves has died, and the world is completely different. And he came from a time where people owned like their sleeves, and he like comes out of like this sleeve prison. He gets put into a new body, and it's like, okay, your body is the property of blah blah, and you've been summoned to his employment here, you know. And it's like he's basically brought back to life by this like rich dude who's like, I want you to solve my own murder because somebody killed me 48 hours ago. And like people can remember things, I guess, like right up to their death. But I guess there's like some leeway depending on when the backup is done to the cloud, I guess. So it's like it's if
my
it's
memories are in a Google Doc.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, basically.
Even in the future.
No, seriously.
Even in the future, there's always data issues, right?
Like it's like if you combined Blade Runner with Total Recall with The Matrix with
Demolition Man.
Yeah, Demolition Man.
That's a lot.
And Judge Dredd and
that's a lot of chefs in that kitchen.
But it's amazing because it all works, you know. And it's like
Master Chef. It's Master Chefs in that.
and I would also argue, you know, not to always compare everything because I guess people have to compare everything to Game of Thrones, but it's still Game of Thronesy in the fact that it's like there's so many different cultures. You know, it's like you got these neo-Catholics and they can't be resurrected. You've got people who are in different bodies. There's like a whole section of humanity that's like diseased and they're like perpetually dying, but they keep giving them new bodies, but they keep dying, and it's like really fucked up. And then at the same time, there's like a whole society of AIs that I guess are like free to do whatever the fuck they want. And they're like segregated from humanity, but they like run their whorehouses and plumbing and shit. And there's like AI on AI murder. And it's like, it's completely batshit bonkers, but it's like super serious and amazing and fucking phenomenal.
Is that AI world Westworld? Are these universes combined?
I mean, it's definitely very Westworld. I'll tell you that. But it's okay. it's really more like what I guess maybe wherever. I assume you've seen the Westworld TV show, yeah. Dan?
Sorry, I unplugged my headphones.
Well, you failed, good sir. I was saying I assume you've seen the HBO Westworld, yeah.
I've seen several episodes of it before my subscription was canceled. Like I canceled my subscription because I was like, oh, Game of Thrones is over. I didn't finish Westworld in the month that I allowed myself extra.
Oh, okay.
So I'll just have to try it again another time.
Okay. Well, both me and Mike agree that it's probably one of the best shows ever made in the last 5 years or something like that.
Yeah. I watched up to the point where what's her name? The owner of the whorehouse. She where she was in the lab.
Okay.
And had coerced the doctor to help her.
Yeah, she'd have sort of woken up and asked the programmers to jack her stats. Her roll New Game Plus.
Buff me, Bungie.
Put that Game Genie in there.
Oh yeah, the Game Genie. Oh, Mike, the throwbacks. I love you, good sir. So good.
That's how I got Charmander and Bulbasaur the first time.
Full disclosure, and also dating my age, but I learned my ABCs with a Game Genie.
That's all. Oh wait, Game Genie is different than a Game Shark. Never mind. I'm sorry.
If it makes you feel any better, buddy, they were made by the same people.
Oh my god.
Game Shark was the predecessor.
Yeah. Game Shark didn't require you to have a book of codes.
No, for real. So Game Genie on my fucking Sega Genesis, fucking Sonic the Hedgehog and Terminator and whatever that shitty baseball game and racing game was I had as a kid. Like, and you're punching those fucking like 36-digit fucking codes just so you could have infinite lives or jump past the screen or whatever the fuck. Those are the days.
Now I have a 30-digit code to get into my bank account.
Yeah, or a Nintendo friend code, you know, whichever is longer.
Yeah, exactly.
But what was I going with all that stuff? Oh yeah, I would say Altered Carbon is like where Westworld's plot probably ends up like 1,000 years into the future. Is what I would say.
Okay, I'll have to check that out then.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's also apparently the most expensive show Netflix has ever produced. Like you look at it and it's like the screen oozes with fucking set design and costumes and prosthetics and CGI, and it's a fucking top-notch shit.
Well, and see, that's the thing about like Netflix, right? Like they have like, they don't really like tell you what like any of the ratings or anything like that.
Yeah.
So something that's like that huge could be a colossal failure,
Oh,
and they spent like a shit ton of money on it.
Well, and the other weird thing about it, because I've looked a lot into what I could about the production, because as you said, Netflix is really, they keep their shit close to the vest.
Yeah.
I guess they shot the whole show in 2016. So I don't know whether it took that long to finish special effects or if it was like shelved for whatever reason. But it's funny because the same thing happened to Westworld. Westworld was shot in what, 2015?
Yeah.
And it came out like years later, and then when they're like, oh, when's season 2? And it's like, well, we have to put the entire crew back together because they all went off and did shit. Like,
yeah,
what do you want from us?
We went on a long hiatus.
Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of, it's kind of funky,
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Have you seen Bright yet? Anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you shouldn't. You used his trigger word.
What did you think, Buster?
I actually did a live reaction to it. The last 30 minutes on this show.
Yeah, and that's actually where the genesis of the commentaries came from.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, okay. So did you like it? Yes or no?
I'm conflicted.
Okay. I can probably agree with you a little bit there.
Yeah, like the idea is interesting. The execution, I felt, was a little heavy-handed.
I agree with you, Dan.
Yeah, I don't know, the whole scene with Will Ferrell, or not Will Ferrell. Oh
Whoa.
My god, where Will Ferrell plays.
Where Will Ferrell plays Will Smith.
He plays that pixie that's in the first room.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just like that. That scene I liked a lot, and then the rest of the movie, I couldn't buy in. There just wasn't enough there. It felt like it wanted to tell this really rich story about how culture has gotten to this point.
Yeah.
With all these fantasy things.
Yeah.
But they did so little to truly invest in the world overall, other than just passing glances.
Yeah, I mean, there's a shot in this film where there's a motherfucking dragon flying above LA, and you're just like, I want to know more about that fucking dragon. What you doing?
Yeah, how does that not come in the third act and Jurassic Park the shit out of everything?
Well, that's for the announced sequel, which I still think is the dumbest fucking title I've ever heard of. You guys have all heard the title for Bright too, right?
Title.
So they announced it a week after Bright came out on the official Twitter account, and they said, coming soon, Bright 2, Super Bright.
Get the fuck out.
I'm not kidding you. Look at the Twitter account.
I can't. I refuse.
I was really going to say, Bright 2, brighter?
No, Super Bright.
Brightest.
And then Bright 3, LED.
I'm going to say, I'll just spitball it off the top of my head. Here's a better title. Return of the Dark Lord.
Okay, yeah, that's better.
Or Rise of the Orcs.
Or, you could have even called the second one Brightness.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Guys, all this to say, don't watch the movie Bright. It's a waste of your time.
Oh.
And you should probably be listening to the podcast Hello from the Magic Tavern, where there is also a Dark Lord and a very rich and comedic history.
Fair.
Excuse me while I look up that podcast, because
it is so good. You have to start at number 1 though.
My God. I'm I don't start from the most recent one. I go all the way from the beginning.
You have to. There's seasons. There's layers like onions. It's so good. But I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Bright just
I have higher hopes for the sequel, to be honest. Because
I have no hope.
I didn't like the climax of Bright. I thought it was a little slapped together. Like, I liked the world building and I liked the characters. But I agree with you. The execution could have been better. But ultimately, given another go, and obviously it was successful. The sequel could be really something. Because, I mean, I'll be honest, it's probably, to use another Will Smith movie allegory, Bad Boys is not a super great movie. It's a pretty good movie, but it's got a lot of problems. Bad Boys 2, fucking awesome. God damn it, woo-saw. So, therefore, there's hope for Bright 2.
I don't know, man. So David Ayer is the one who directed it, right?
Yeah. He directed it and wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like the whole dude on that thing.
I don't know. Maybe they should shop it out to somebody else. David, thank you for creating this world, but we're gonna give it to we're gonna give Jeff Goldblum a shot at it. Jeff Goldblum, he's gonna direct. It's
gonna be super Jewish, and
we're gonna get Taika Waititi to write it up. And it'll be better in every way.
Only if he's shirtless and lounging.
So Thor Ragnarok?
Yes. Give me Thor Ragnarok again. But with Joel Edgerton and Will Smith, please.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, we put together a better sequel than they possibly could have.
We just put together another movie.
We are so fucking good at everything.
We just did what they did with Star Wars. They did it to J.J. Abrams, and they gave it to. They just was like, J.J., you did a great job. We're just gonna give it to somebody else, and he's totally gonna stick. He's totally gonna stick his fingers in your pie. I hope you're okay with it.
Yeah, I still have no idea what the fuck he's gonna do.
But isn't that movie awesome?
The Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm a huge fan of Last Jedi. My only complaint and biggest complaint is that whole fucking casino fucking planet needs to be excised from that fucking film. Because it's so prequely, it makes me barf.
Yes! Oh my god, we are best friends.
And I love Finn, but I don't give a shit about Finn and Rose on their little fucking adventure when supposedly their fucking fleet is dying. And they're off fucking slots and riding fucking giant wampa rats or whatever the fuck through the streets and fucking whatever the fuck. I just don't care.
I liked Benicio del Toro's character, but felt
I mean, he was so one-notey.
Could be used,
you know?
Yeah.
Well, he was Benicio del Toro.
Yeah.
Oh. You, sir, are correct.
Yes,
this is true.
If you watch the beer commercial that he's in, it's the same character.
What beer commercial?
The Dos Equis, right?
Yeah, he's the new Dos Equis man, right?
Yeah, he's the Dos Equis. He's the most interesting man in the world. I say that with air quotes.
Yeah, I don't always drink Dos Equis, but when I do, I'm Benicio del Toro.
Yeah.
I don't always get sad, but I am whenever I find out Benicio del Toro gets work.
Is Antonio Banderas busy?
Probably not.
He's a bee right now.
Probably not. True. He's too busy making Puss in Boots 3.
Hey man, whatever you need to do to make your money, I'll play any character.
It's true.
Like Mike, I need you to be a voice of like I don't know in Food Fight 2 or the food movie.
Did you guys watch that? What are you talking about?
What was it called? God damn it! It had a food orgy at the end.
A food orgy.
Seth Rogen made it.
Oh, the Wiener Dick CGI movie.
Oh, that one.
Yes.
I never saw that. Was it any good?
Sausage Party.
Yeah.
Okay, Sausage. Okay, yeah.
If somebody was like, "Hey, Mike, you want to be in Sausage Party too? You can pick what type of food you'll be." I'll say, "Fucking A right, I will." Like, however you make your money, make your money.
Would you say that you'd relish the opportunity?
Oh, I hope you can catch up with what I was putting down.
Oh my god, you guys need to get your Pickle Rick shit out of here and your condiments and fucking go back to fucking Burger King. All right.
Well,
holy shit. Yes.
I watched Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah, finally. So we had a big talk about this because you'd never seen a single Mission Impossible
I've
ever.
never seen a single Mission Impossible movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so
So you saw the very first one?
You just saw the
Yeah.
first one?
Okay.
And I started the second one.
Okay.
Oh.
What's your thoughts?
I'm kind of mad that 1996 I wasn't watching one of the best heist, like a good heist / spy flick.
Yeah,
dude, it was awesome.
It was really good.
It's a fucking great thing.
And then in number 2, it's like, spoiler alert, it's another heist flick, and I love heist movies.
Yeah, guess what? They're all heist flicks of the sort.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, because it's part of the super spy thing. It's like you got to get something from somebody else who's gonna do something. Yeah, thank you. That sums it up.
Yeah, you got to get the MacGuffin, and then once you get the MacGuffin has to do something, or you have to do something with MacGuffin.
Then more people are coming after the MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Now, Tim, did you see John Wick yet?
No. And my excuse for that is I fucked up on Valentine's Day. And also it's her copy and she's forgotten it multiple days in a row.
Okay, well.
Actually, while I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna shoot my gal a text to bring John Wick.
You should just go ahead and buy it. You don't need to worry about if you're going to like it or not.
You're gonna like it.
Okay.
You're gonna like it.
Okay.
You're gonna look good in it. It's so fun.
Also, Tim, I was gonna ask you about Ducktales. I'm super apprehensive about starting it because I have such fond feelings of Ducktales.
Okay, so do I. Okay, you're talking to the motherfucking dude who has the fucking DVD set sitting next to his fucking Tailspin set, sitting next to his fucking Darkwing Duck set, okay?
Do you have Rescue Rangers? Do you have Rescue Rangers?
I'll be honest, Rescue Rangers did not age as well. Really? I tried. I Netflixed it, and I went, yay, Rescue. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, no, sorry. Rescue Rangers
really
was
things.
way like it's so geared so younger, and the material just did not hold up like Darkwing Duck and Tailspin and Ducktales.
You know who my motherfucking man in Tailspin is? Don Carnage. Okay.
Goddamn right. Yes.
Don Carnage.
Fuck
like
yes.
One of the greatest character pieces I've ever seen in cartoons. By the way, Gargoyles too. Gargoyles is great.
Oh yeah. And Gargoyles still pissed that Disney's never gonna release their fucking final season of that fucking shit.
They
didn't that get really convoluted toward the end? Because I will say I was a huge fan of Gargoyles.
Super dark.
And I remember I think it was IDW released the last season.
It's always IDW.
Or quote unquote ID released the last season of Gargoyles back in 2005 or something like that.
Like on DVD? They're a comic book.
No.
Oh, like a comic book. Yeah, well, everything's released
as a
Joss Whedon
type thing where instead of finishing a show, you just do a comic book of seasons.
Well, I mean, it's not like he had a choice.
Exactly.
We're all talking about Firefly. But actually, do you know who started that? Continues the thing as a comic book from a popular TV show?
No, who's
it's actually X-Files.
Oh.
Yeah, because they did a whole fucking 3 seasons after they went off the air. I mean, obviously they're back now, but it's funny because and they took 3 of those comics and they actually reincorporated them into canon in an audiobook that came out last summer. Where all the original voice actors, they did it like a voice play.
Wow, that's cool.
Now, fellas, I have a question. This is staying in the DuckTales, Tailspin wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is there a show from our? I mean, we're all about the same age.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're all talking about the same shows.
65.
So we're all 107.
Yeah.
This is my 9th sleeve. So we all look the same.
He keeps getting hit by the same train.
I know.
Anyways.
I can't learn.
Oh, we're all on a loop.
Yeah, like Looper, but better.
I was thinking Westworld with the loops, but okay.
Yeah, that too. Also good. Is there a show from our childhood that you would like to see rebooted? Because I have two off the top of my.
I have one off the top of my head because I fucking Googled it this morning.
What is it?
So I personally think the DuckTales reboot is the fucking bestest fucking reboot I've ever seen. And now that it's so fucking successful, because they're actually doing Darkwing Duck. That's confirmed. So now I'm like, Tailspin better fucking be next, you bitches. Tailspin better be next.
Oh, what was?
So
Dude, yeah.
I want whatever fucking genius people who somehow got all this shit by Disney's censorship board that got the DuckTales 2017 on the air. I want them to do Tailspin.
Okay.
That's what I want.
Oh man.
Describe it, Dan. I got it. Trust me.
Okay. So I just looked it up.
Okay.
Because I was like, what is the name of this thing? So I remember, so I grew up in the age where like Fox would do these things.
Oh yeah, all these Fox Kids shows that were completely batshit and did one season of, right?
No, it was like they would do them at night.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember like the X-Men saga where they were with the Morlocks.
Yep.
I remember that. And I remember them doing like Power Rangers. I think that was the Green Ranger saga.
Yeah,
it was at night.
Yeah,
at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like I remember that age, and I think the WB, in order to kind of stay current, did one, and I remember it almost fucking ruined me. And for years, I had this image in my head. So there was a power gauntlet that was involved, and only the prince of this alien race could wear it, right?
Okay.
And basically, he had like a hyper speed motorcycle that he placed the gauntlet on, and then he would be able to cruise around and stuff.
Was it fucking Kid Knight Rider?
Dude, no. It gets so much weirder.
You're gonna tell us the title of this because the suspense is killing me.
Yes, hold on. I'm building here.
You're building a lot.
The image that was burned in my head. Somebody else had found the power gauntlet, and they put it on their hand, and it crushed their hand. And so for the rest of the series, this guy was walking around with like a crushed hand. Like he was the bad guy.
Was it like animated or?
It was animated.
Or?
It was on WB. I want to say that it took place over like 3 days. I have the Wikipedia article up. It was called Invasion America, and it aired in 1998. Steven Spielberg created the series. It was like part of like DreamWorks Animation right out the gate.
He's done a shit ton of TV and animated stuff.
Yeah, like Animaniacs was one of my favorite things, and that's coming back actually. I think that's coming to Hulu.
Yeah, but they're coming back with the original cast.
Oh, see, that's awesome. That's amazing.
At least that's what I heard the guy who does Wacko say at a Comic-Con last year. I haven't looked into that to confirm that, but that's what I've heard.
That's awesome. Yeah, he like that means the world to me actually. But this had Leonard Nimoy.
You say
General
his goddamn
Conrad.
name right.
Yes. Leonard Nimoy. But, no, it's just like it was so cool when I was a kid, and I watched it a couple of years ago. I found it on YouTube, and it did not age well at all.
Isn't that the most disappointing thing when you go back to your things and you're like, this was my childhood and I would like kill babies to watch this show on Saturday morning cartoons or whatever.
That whole hand thing was like the most metal thing I'd ever seen in my life. And to think that I saw a cartoon do that was fucking unimaginable, right? And so then you get to that point, you have to slog through a lot of bullshit in order to get to that point. And it just kind of meh. And the animation's not that great, unfortunately.
Well, a lot of animation from the 90s was definitely suspect. Anything that wasn't, basically, only Warner Brothers had good animation in the 90s.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, it was kind of in correlation with Warner Brothers, and it was right around the time that they started doing the CGI thing. So you have really, really awful CGI mixed in with this like kind of garbage sci-fi premise. but like if I wanted to see something rebooted, it would be that. It is serious. I think the premise is good. The execution needs to be better. That's basically all I've got to say. Ooh, Mikey Kelly.
Fair
Anyways,
enough.
sorry.
One final thing on the Ducktales, because I know you've been asking Mike. So the entire pilot is free on YouTube. So I would go check that out. That's what the pilot convinced me that what Disney was doing with that was A, not sacrilegious, and B, so it's actually even more adult than the original DuckTales, because I've gone back since the new show has come back on. And like I just watched episode 10, which I guess is the last episode for a little while, and they were Hugh, Dewey, and Louie and Scrooge McDuck, they're gonna go climb this Mount Never Climb or whatever the fuck they were calling it in the show. And and to give you an idea of how much actually darker it is than the original DuckTales, and it's something I'm really, really proud of Disney for, like, not fucking with and actually catering to the people who used to watch the show as well, is like, because like, so I mean, I would think both of you guys know that it's like we had 90s and it was sweet spot and they got away with tons of crazy shit. And then for the last like 20 years, cartoons have been homogenized and garbage and like so PC friendly and mom friendly and all this stuff, and it was just awful, right? Can we agree on this? So this new DuckTales, this episode I just watched this morning, they're climbing this ice mountain that's, like an analog to Mount Everest, right? And they're like they're going through this ice cave, and they're like, oh man, what happened to all these people who could never climb this? And they turn to their left, and there's like a bunch of like beheaded like duck people, and they're like, oh man, where are their heads? And they turn to the right, and then there's like all of the beheaded duck heads in the ice to the right, and they're like, oh, there they are. And then they come to a sign that it's like to the left is like back down the mountain to like the hot cocoa lodge or something, and then the right sign is like upwards to certain death, and they're like, oh man, hot cocoa sounds really good. Meh, certain death, let's go. And so it's like, I can't believe this shit in this show. And also it's got a truly good cast, and actually, Mike, this will actually seal the deal for you because I know you're a huge Community fan. Huey is voiced by oh god, the guy, I don't know the actor's name.
Joe McHale?
No, not Joe McHale, the Indian Muhammad dude or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Huey's voiced by him. Dewey, I think, is voiced by the guy who's actually the voice of BB-8, and he also did House of Lies. And then Scrooge McDuck is David Tennant.
Yeah. I just watched the theme song. I'm gonna watch the episode.
Yeah.
Now, guys, here, I don't know. These might be deep dives for you.
Okay.
Mummy's Alive.
I remember that.
Okay.
No knowledge.
Vaguely.
I would love to see Mystic Knights of Terra Nanoke.
Okay.
Oh,
that you're bringing up some memories, dude.
Oh, I got deep dives. Trust me. And I would love to see. This is the one for me right here. Dino Riders come back.
Okay.
I
vaguely remember Dino Riders.
I don't remember Dino Riders at all.
Basically,
I assume they rode dinos.
Yeah. What is this? An alien race crash lands on prehistoric Earth, and they're followed by their enemies. They're alien race, like two races. They're humanoid.
So Beast Wars.
Yeah, not really, but yes. Think about it. If that helps, it's a very close analogy.
Not gonna lie, Dan, Beast Wars was the best.
Beast Wars was the ship.
It was awesome.
And
still holds up, by the way.
The fusers, that was where it lost me. The combining, that lost me.
Well, that was when it went back to traditional animation, and it was actually they were taking a Japanese show, and they weren't doing this Americanized Beast Wars, because there's Beast Wars and there's Beast Machines, and Beast Machines had a weird art style, but the stories were still gold.
With Rhinox being the anyways, go.
Yeah,
go
it wasn't really Rhinox.
I'm with you. I'm okay with that. The good guys. I'm just going to use the good guy, bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
They can communicate with dinosaurs using like telepathy, animal handling.
Okay.
Like they walk up, they're like, "I'm your friend," and the T-Rex is like, "Hell yeah, buddy, hop on." The evil aliens, they use things called brain boxes, so it's like mind control. It's like a weird mask that they put on on the dinosaurs' heads, and shenanigans ensues. You might be able to find it on YouTube because YouTube has everything.
So the Knights of Tiryn and Nog.
Yeah.
Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah.
A Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah.
Was that the one that had like their suits of armor were dragons?
Yep.
All right. Yeah. I remember that.
They were elemental.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. You just unlocked a door in my childhood that I had lost.
You know what else is a deep cut since we're on the topic? I might have brought it up before, but does anybody else remember Knights of the Round? Where it was like a high school football quarterback, and then he would go through an alternate dimension after school and become King Arthur with his other football buddies, but they were like Lancelot and shit, and they had like super powered armor, and one of them had like a cannonball hand, and like it was fucking ridiculous.
Yes. Remember Captain N, the Game Master?
Was that in that, or is that a different show?
No, that was a different show. Very similar though. It was a kid that could go into like Nintendo world.
Oh,
and he was Captain N.
No, I don't.
I do remember Knights of the Round.
No.
I do remember Knights of the Round.
Oh man,
I'm not remembering any of this.
Taking the nostalgia train. See, we would all remember a lot of these a lot better if we had Elon Musk's, super brain drug.
Yeah. Just be like, dude, give me your brain drug.
You guys remember Monster Rancher?
Oh, fuck yes.
I remember Monster Rancher.
I remember the game, bitch.
Hell yeah, I love the game. I used to grab CDs and put that shit in.
Yeah, right?
I had a book. I would write down what it was.
You want to know? You want to know the proest tip for that old game? If the music CD you're putting in had like a clear like cover, like it wasn't like had like colors printed on. You know how like older CDs they were just like the fucking name, and it was still all like shiny CD. You could actually flip the CD and still get another Monster Rancher.
A what?
Monster. Yeah.
That's cheesy. That's awesome.
Right? Oh, so good.
Love it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I remember the game. I remember the TV show. I remember that fucking kid with that cap and that orange thing. It was great. We just sound like increasingly like just doped up high people. Like, oh yeah, the orange blob and the kid with the hat, and there was a ship and a guy's cannon, and guy's hand was crushed in a gauntlet, and fucking people riding dinos turning into dragons.
Pirates of Dark Water.
Oh,
I don't remember that.
The name, I get like images. Yeah.
Hold on. I'll do it, Dan, and I'll drop it. I'll drop the wiki into it for Dan.
Yeah, but for those of you at home, I've been dropping all the things I've been talking about into the chat for the podcast. It's super interesting to you, I know.
That doesn't help me in the slightest at all. I got my screen off here. I actually just turned it back on for a second. I got 48 minutes before my battery shits out. 48 minutes.
Hey. This is a heist movie now.
Oh, yeah, it is. We got 48 minutes to get in and get out. Get the show done.
Yes.
We're already in. We just have to extract.
Oh my God. That's so good.
Am for it.
Oh my
God. Wow, that was such a I guess we should spin again? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is where it gets tricky because we gotta cancel out some of the other ones here. All right, spinning. We landed on air. Video games, fantastic.
Yeah.
So, I guess we'll start with Mike here. So, what video games you been playing, buddy?
Oh man, I've been. Crimson Days has been for Destiny 2.
Okay.
And it's super fun. It's nice to have 2v2. That's pretty awesome. I've been playing a lot of Warframe. I just downloaded actually today because it's on sale. It's I don't know if you guys knew, but PSN is having a flash sale, and it's super good. There's a lot of great games in there for really, really cheap. There's a game called Lichdom Battle Mage that looked very interesting to me, and it's like a first-person shooter, but with no guns, no swords, but you use spells. And it's advertised as having thousands and thousands of spell possibilities.
Okay.
And you had me at hello. Plus, it was $15, and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at the main screen now. So when we're done this, I can hop on and stream my very first beginning love of it.
Yeah.
And I watched, the a brief, not a review, but a brief here's what makes this game interesting. And the spells, the school of spells is like fire, ice, kinetic, necromancy, phase. And there's like a couple other ones. So it looks very interesting. It looks like it's going to be fun to do. Yeah. Plus, Lichdom, you had me at hello, good sir. So that's something I'm going to give it a shot. Also, Final Fantasy 14 is for sale. So if anybody wanted to hop on that, enjoy that one, good sir. Also, Pirates of Dark Water's in our chat now. So you guys
I just
remember that.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this sale right now. I know that Meat Boy was like $1 and some change.
Mm-hmm.
That game, that platformer. Let me see. I saw like Titanfall 2, the Ultimate Edition for $10. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Weird. Mass Effect Andromeda, the deluxe recruit for $13.19. That's interesting. This is a nice sale. This is a good sale.
Who's actually played Mass Effect Andromeda?
I have not. I saw Bife play it a little bit, and just figured it was not for me. I haven't played the first 3. That's on my to-do list since I got this Xbox.
Okay, so then I have the most interesting and relevant story for you then.
Okay.
So my girlfriend got me Mass Effect Andromeda last year for my birthday, because birthday and the Andromeda were around the same time. And I'd heard all the bad reviews and stuff. And I've played, I'll be totally honest, I probably played only about 5 hours of it. So basically sort of like the intro. I think it's totally fine. There's nothing terribly bad with it or wrong with it, in my opinion. It's more Mass Effect, and in my opinion, that's a good thing. I haven't gotten in deep enough to know, like, oh, maybe the plot starts sucking dick by the end or whatever. I just don't know. However, what did happen was I got distracted by Horizon Zero Dawn because I was late to the party on that. Because Zelda Breath of the Wild came first in my book. And Horizon Zero Dawn, fantastic, by the way. But when I was playing that, so I have 2 PS4s, and my girlfriend's actually a gamer, and she's like, well, I want to check out this Mass Effect Andromeda thing. And she sunk like 35 hours into it and fucking loves it. And I was like, babe, the internet says the original trilogy is way better in every way. You should check out the original trilogy. And as of this week, she just started Mass Effect 2. She completed Mass Effect 1. She fucking loves it. She's on a mission to bang certain dudes. And and she is all about that. She's all about that romance subplot, baby.
Oh my god. It's hilarious.
And I asked her because the first game, you can really only romance like a couple of people. In the second game, it's just like fucking go nuts. And she really and probably joins the legions of fans who have weird sexual fan art of this guy Garrus, the original Mass Effect trilogy, who's this alien. He's got sort of mandible things and like tentacle hair or something. But anyway, I guess women really want to bang him, and she's like, oh yeah, Garrus, I'm gonna be all over your fucking mandibles in Mass Effect 2. And I'm just like, what the fuck is it with women and wanting to bang Garrus? Like, I don't get it. Like, I think Garrus is a cool character and a cool dude and neat alien, but it's like, I mean, it's scary to hear her talk about this guy's, virtual mandibles and wanting to get plowed, Well,
so I'm looking at him now.
Yeah.
And I can see it.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Hold on. Now I gotta look. Garrus, right?
Yeah. I'll drop it in chat.
Didn't you ever play the Mass Effect trilogy, Mike?
No.
Oh, fuck, Mike. You would love the shit out of that trilogy.
There we go.
Yeah, it's so good. It's also some of the best story driven video games that are also simultaneously a hardcore RPG. Like,
look, man,
it's great.
I mean,
yours looks like he cuddles.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he would hold you if you felt scared in the night. Like I get it. I mean, we all have a weird video game character that we would bone. Come on, we can all be honest.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you guys would go silent, so I'd be like, I'm the only one.
No. Oh yeah.
No, there's tons of video game characters I would bone. Yeah, Mass Effect is so funny though, because that's actually been one of the things I've been playing. So since she's been playing Mass Effect, I still haven't caught back up to Andromeda. I've been busy on other games. But when she was playing, because I watched her play through the whole original Mass Effect, like that's like 35 hours right there. And I was like, man, I want to play me some motherfucking Mass Effect. And I got it in my head, and I was like, well, first of all, I had the old gamer problem of where the fuck did I put that disc for Mass Effect 3? And then I had the problem of, oh, god damn it, it's disc 1 of 2? Shit. Where's the second disc?
Remember discs? Guys?
Oh,
Remember
man,
those?
I don't like them at all.
Lester, I think we talked about Legend of Dragoon.
Yes,
that was like a 4-disc affair.
Discs.
And it's so sweet.
Well, bitches, I got you covered. Sega Dreamcast Shenmue 2, I think, was 5 discs.
I think it was.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah. What's up?
Nothing much. Just talking video games on a podcast.
Sweet. So I dove back into Mass Effect 3, and I had somehow, I guess after I'd beaten the game, and there's a bunch of DLC that came out like a year later after the game was wrapped up, you know, and you could like complete the whole trilogy at that point. But there was like 2 whole giant like 20-hour DLC things that I'd never played in Mass Effect 3.
Really?
And one of them is takes place on this main area in the game called the Citadel, and it's just you throwing a party with all of the characters that you've met and spent time with over the course of 3 games. And for someone who, you know, I mean, when did that game come out? Like 2012? I think 2011.
Yeah?
Mass Effect. So it's been years. But I have all these fond memories, and I came back to them, and it's just like, oh my god, there's like, you know, more interactions with these fucking characters that I love, and it's fucking hysterical. And a lot of them are really, really funny. Like, I mean, for me, like I role played as a male, romanced every woman I could, because you know that's just how I roll. You know, renegade points all the way. Mass Effect joke there.
We just if we're not best friends already, I just want to let you know, if you ever role play with me, like play some Pathfinder.
Yeah.
I only play one class, baby. I only play a paladin of Shaylin. That's it.
Already.
Any god in the D&D or Pathfinder realm that lets their paladins throw dick to become dick like cocksmen, like that's literally one of the tenets.
I do believe they're called a cocksmith, as you
a cocksmith. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was reading. I had a book, you know, about paladins, because I only play paladins because it's like a cleric but better.
That's his new podcast. I only play paladins.
I only play paladins, and it could also be a paladins video game podcast. It works so well.
You are so fucking like loserly lucky in your double entendre names of podcasts. So I don't know if you know this, Dan, but like this fucking fool right here, like he refers to me as the Podfather because like I got him started into podcasting, and we were doing Agents of the Nine and Destiny podcast, and you know, and then that kind of fell by the wayside, and then he started his own podcast, the RNG podcast, which originally started as just a Destiny show, and then it's obviously, you know, he picked a good title because now he can be like, well, you know, RNG, yo, anything gamery, you know,
yes,
winkety wink, 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 wink. But you know, if he's gonna do another podcast, Paladins on Paladins, while talking about paladins and other paladin type things,
I only play paladins.
I think you're in league with Elon Musk, man.
Well
You gotta
done.
stop this
Well
shit.
done.
Yeah, I was reading the book and it literally said, because paladins in D&D or in Pathfinder, they have to walk a very straight line.
Yeah.
And it literally said Shaylin doesn't care if her priests and paladins and clerics engage in the cardinal flesh in the desires of the flesh. I'm like, oh, that's why I have a 23 charisma. Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
I love that you guys know exactly what that means in D&D world and role playing.
Oh my god.
So good.
So now
Hey baby, I got a 23 charisma. You want to go back to my place?
I got 23 charisma and 2 great swords. Oh, you only see one?
Compensating much?
Roll a charisma check. I don't need to. So.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. I railroaded that one into
It's okay.
a really weird place.
Hey, we're in this place now.
Yeah.
How do we dig ourselves out?
Easy. I have a shovel. Just keep digging down.
Well, I don't know. So I've been playing. As well as much of the world of video games, have been playing Monster Hunter World and really enjoying that.
Now, let me ask you before you go further. Good
sure.
Go
ahead.
Were you previously a Monster Hunter fan?
No.
Okay, good.
Not
so
at all.
That's the type of, because like I've tried the demo for every single fucking Monster Hunter that has ever come out for fucking 3DS, and I could never fucking get through all the goddamn menus. Yet at the same time, like I know at its core, it's basically an evolution of Phantasy Star Online, which I was big into when I was younger.
See, like with this, I hated the beta. Went in with like 3 members from my Destiny clan. And
I did it too with my Destiny clan, and I was just kind of meh on it.
Yeah, I hated it so much. I played 15 minutes. I was like, this isn't for me. And I hated it because it didn't explain anything.
Well, that's true.
Right. And so, I don't know. I got paid by Twitch because like affiliate thing. And like I had a really good month. So I was like, I'll toss this back into the channel. And picked up Monster Hunter World.
Okay.
And dude, I've been loving it. Like the learning curve on it is really steep.
Okay.
But so picking up other games outside of Destiny has been kind of hard for me to do for the channel. If I'm going to do Division, I had to do Division up to level 30 myself, because otherwise somebody would come in and be like, hey, I'll help power level you. And they'd be like level 30, I'd be level 16, and all of the bad guys would scale to 30, and I'd have to go and play hide and seek for like
I used to play the Division. I understand entirely the level scaling thing. There is it was a great idea on paper, not great for your friends.
Sneeze on you, and you'd be like, "I'm down,
exactly."
Guys,
not great for your friends.
Yeah, so I don't know. I ended up running a character all the way to 30 on stream by itself, and then like that was when I was like, okay, now I can play with people, because that is interesting to see rather than someone going and running around.
Sure.
But with Monster Hunter, I love the fact that the enemies don't scale so much.
Okay.
Their HP gets buffed.
Okay.
But other than that, like that's it. You can be at Hunter rank 7 and have like 3 buddies come in that are of like higher tier levels. And it still is just as difficult for everybody involved. And it's like they may have better gear, but it's not by that much. And so it still takes a while. It's so rewarding. And the fact that everybody can still use the pieces for your armor and different weaponry and stuff, that like makes it so much more of like an investment game than I was expecting. And I'm having a blast with it.
How many hours have you sunk into it, you think?
I have not sunk in that many. I've done so far, like to make sure that I enjoyed playing it.
Sure.
I did it off stream for about 4 hours, and 1 hour of that was making sure that I created an excellent character. His name's Pretty Danfinity because he is prettier than me.
Okay, fair enough.
And I have a calico named Bumblepuss because that's what I would name my cat if I had a cat. And I played the first 4 hours. It realized it wasn't really about the story and more about the grind, and was like, all right, let's go. So I've just been anytime on stream that I've been playing it, which is I probably played about 16 hours. Probably.
Okay. Well, that's a good chunk of time to determine whether or not a game's good or not.
Exactly.
That actually says it's good.
Yeah, and like bringing in friends that know something about the game overall has been really rewarding. Chat gets really involved with it, and that's a cool thing. The community for Monster Hunter is really positive. Sweet. And like stops it and they're just like, oh hey, I love this one, man. Like, hey, you should probably try to break off like that piece on his leg. And you're like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. And like
that's helpful.
You like, yeah, exactly. So that's been super cool. I tried, so I built this like high powered computer and in order to stream. I did that earlier this year. Just finished out buying the pieces and put it together.
Cool.
And I didn't have enough storage really to feel comfortable putting any games on it. Finally got like an external HD drive and started playing World of Warcraft on there. I played a couple hours last night and I don't think it's really for me.
Yeah, I've tried several times to get into World of Warcraft. It's just not my not my cup of tea. And as someone who's played all the RTSs, you know, it's a little sad to me, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm glad they gave me, like, they give you like a free trial. You're able to play up to like level 20 or something like that for free, and then after, like, the first hit is free, and then after that you got to pay for it.
Yeah, like all good drug dealers.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to Snapple with that? And also, but yeah, I don't know. It's very fetch questy, and I don't know. I guess that's a criticism that you can make to Monster Hunter as well, to any RPG.
Yeah, I was gonna say any video game. You know?
Yeah, but it's like, it's not. Monster Hunter is fun. Like, regardless of what I go and do, I go in there, I spend 20 minutes just derping around.
Wow.
And I'll have walked out with like at least some armor that I feel good about.
Nice.
And with like, I don't know, maybe I should get this character up all the way to 20, because right now it's sitting at 6. But right now I feel just kind of derpy and not really into it. So
now Dan, going back to Monster Hunter.
Yes.
I played the demo and I didn't like it. You and I have had conversations, probably about 9 hours worth of conversations on RNG.
Yes.
Would you think, knowing me as the person I am, would you think I would enjoy it?
As someone who likes an investment game, like I know you do, I would say that it would be worthwhile to pick up at a red box.
Okay.
And try. Like,
that's not a good thing. I think that's a good fucking point. I fucking forget that.
Yeah. Dude, okay. Go to
Hollywood Video and Blockbuster are long since dead, but Redbox is still a thing.
Well, and your local library, because I that's what I do for a living. I work at a library.
Oh.
And when Blockbuster went out, when all those video rental stores went out, your local library probably started picking up the slack. So
I literally did not know that.
Yeah, it behooves everyone who enjoys video games to at least check their local library and sign up for a card. Most of the time it's free. And you probably be able to check out some awesome games depending on how well they were received in your community. With our community, it was a huge boom, and that's a big section of our checkouts actually. DVDs, Blu-rays, and video games.
That's actually fascinating that you're a librarian.
I'm not a card carrying graduated and degreed librarian. I am a librarian's assistant. So think of me more as Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
I was about to say, so you're a card catalog carrying.
I'm a card catalog carrier. Yes.
You're the Decibel in Dewey Decibel.
Do we have a consensus? Yes.
We do, yes, indeed.
Yes.
Not to derail this, Tim, I know I know your laptop is slowly dying.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's fine.
What's the timer on that guy?
I just checked it. I put a thing on my watch. We're down to 22%. It says I've got 29 minutes left, and my timer says we've got 23 minutes left.
This is about to become the Seinfeld episode where we find out how far past empty it's gonna go, right?
Yeah, to zero. It's gonna go.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like, hold on. How long ago? How much gas do we have left? I don't know. It broke off.
Oh man.
Now, Dan, I know you're gonna come back obviously to do the commentary track, and we can talk more about video games. But Tim, you made mention, you dropped this real quick in the conversation.
Oh, I did.
You failed in Valentine's Day.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Because
all right,
all three of us have a significant other.
Yes,
okay. Okay.
I want to hear, Tim, about your Valentine's Day, and Dan, I'm assuming you were successful. It was a good Valentine's Day.
I mean, it's a good Valentine's Day when you don't celebrate.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Tim, you go ahead.
Okay, so Valentine's Day rolled around. I wrapped up my work early, actually, that day, so that gave me time to get a shit ton of flowers. I got my girl orchids because that's her favorite flower. And then I also got 12 dozen roses and some like salted caramel chocolate thingamajig thingies.
All that sounds like a success to me. Okay.
Okay. And the plan was I was going to cook up T-bone steaks from the best butcher in Washington State, B&E Meats. Look them up, award-winning. And I was going to cook steaks. I was going to do salad and a baked potato. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, full for your edification there, Dan, I had utterly even failed worse on my girl's birthday, which is on the 30th.
Hold on. Are you talking about my girl?
No, I'm talking about my girl.
No, not with Macaulay Culkin. No.
My girl? Okay.
I can't even believe that happened right now.
Edit points.
What the fuck is this show anymore? What have we become? But for your edification, so her birthday is at the end of January on the 30th, and I had completely fucked up on her birthday dinner, and it wasn't even like cooking steaks. She was like, "I want spaghetti." I was like, "Any spaghetti?" She's like, "Yeah, just homemade spaghetti." I was like, "I got you." Fucking did not even get a chance to boil the water before we had to go to another engagement that she had wanted us to go to, and I was supposed to have dinner before that. So I completely failed there. I mean, I made it up to her the next day, but at the same time, completely fucking botched that dinner. So this dinner, I'm home. I've got everything I need. I ran out to get some, chives for the baked potato, and get some stuff. And I'm cooking the steaks. Cooking the steak goes great. Cooking the potato, had a little trouble with that motherfucking potato. I don't know if anybody's ever baked a potato before, but like I'm not someone who's adventurous in his cooking or does. I mean, I suppose baking a potato is probably on the lower key of things.
Yes, it is.
But it's like, I don't know.
Thank you, Dan. I was going to say something, but go ahead.
It took me a motherfucking hour and a half to cook this motherfucking
as the guest, he has to be polite to me. Go ahead.
He can totally tell me to go
I don't have to be polite anyway. This is my show. But at the same time, this motherfucking potato took an hour and a half. And I'm like, this fucking potato. And so that was the plan. It was steak dinner, salad, potato. And then we originally were going to go out and see the new Maze Runner. But the only showing closest to us is like 6:45, and she gets off at like 5:30, and that's not really enough time to eat dinner. So we did a backup plan, which was much better in my opinion, which is we're going to stay in, we're going to watch Multiplicity and La La Land. Okay?
Okay.
And that's then the next day, she'd take me to see Black Panther for her Valentine's thing for me. And I was like, okay, sounds good. So first of all, it was my thought, having seen Multiplicity multiple times and she's never seen Multiplicity, that Multiplicity was a romantic comedy. As it turns out, my memory does not remember what that fucking movie was. Because the amount of romantic comedy in there is, I don't know, tantamount to 1 grain of fucking salt. And also, in addition to this, you know, because we're basically on a time limit from when she gets off work, because she's got to bounce at 10 so that she can sleep, because she like gets up at work at like fucking 5 or something ridiculous for her job, you know.
Evil,
right?
And so the original plan was to do 2 movies in the dinner. Now, I'm not blaming anybody, but she did arrive at 7:00, having gotten off of work at 5:30. Okay. Not blaming.
So hold on.
Not
do you guys live together?
No.
Okay.
But we live so close that it kind of doesn't matter.
Okay.
So, you know, she's like 5 minutes south of me, and then her job is down the street from my house. So it's like,
continue.
It's sort of negligible. But anyway, so, you know, she chose to get herself prettied up and stuff. Valentine's Day, fine, all that sort of stuff. And we watched Multiplicity. Well, we watched half of Multiplicity. Okay.
Yeah.
Because halfway through Multiplicity, at like, I don't know, 8:30, 9:00, you know, her time is running out before she turns into a pumpkin or whatever the fuck.
Right, exactly.
And halfway through, she's just like, this movie is not a fucking romantic comedy. And I was like, well, I like remember it being funny and romantic. And she's like, why the fuck didn't we start with La La Land? And I'm just like, well, first of all, neither of us have
national treasure.
Well, obviously. See our Batman commentary podcast for all of me and Mike's gushing about that shit. And then I was like, secondly, you know, neither of us has seen La La Land and know whether or not it's a romantic comedy or not. And she's like, but it's 2 people about like love, and there's like musical and shit, so it's got to be a romantic thing. And I was like, we don't know that. We don't know that at all. Okay. And so anyway, we fought about it for like an hour, and then didn't finish Multiplicity, and she was grouchy at me, even though up to that point I had been doing pretty good. So that's why I say I kind of wrecked Valentine's Day. I still don't feel good about it.
Okay.
So to carry on that train, because it's also one of the things I was going to talk about. So we finished Multiplicity last night, which she did end up loving, but still, as the credits roll, she's like, great movie. Not a fucking romantic comedy, Tim. And I was like, I'm sorry, okay? You know, in my head, Michael Keaton is a romantic comedy. You know, what do you want from me? And then we watched La La Land. Now, who here has seen La La Land?
I've seen half of La La Land.
Okay.
Definitely not a romantic comedy.
Yeah, definitely not a fucking romantic comedy. So Dan, do you mind if I spoil La La Land? Like, do you care?
Proceed, good sir.
Okay.
I just doffed my imaginary cap to you.
Okay, yes. Good. And you've seen it, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. So I knew going into it, it's like a fucking 12 Academy Award winning film or whatever the fuck, and everybody loved it. and fucking Hideo Kojima tweeted out pictures of playing the fucking playlist while producing Death Stranding and Metal Gear Solid 5 and all this
That guy's the
all,
weirdest
all
guy
of this
ever.
shit, right? And it's like got Ryan Gosling who I like, and it's got Emma Stone who I like. Watched it, liked the visuals, and liked the colors, and the musical stuff was fine. And we get to the end of the film, right? And the end of the film, for everybody who's probably already seen it, consists of two scenes. One, it consists of a time jump 5 years into the future, in which it shows the girl has gone off to pursue her dream as an acting diva, and the guy has gone off to pursue his dream as owning this prestigious jazz nightclub. And in 5 years in the future, she's fucking married with some other douchebag and this other kid. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And when is he going to get hit by a boat or a bus and die in a fire so that she can get back with Ryan Gosling? Right?
I think that's a Nicholas Sparks movie.
and, and then, she walks into this jazz club and she sees this guy who, in the previous scene, before it said 5 years later, is like, you're the love of my life. You're the love of my life. And then 5 years later, and they're not fucking together. And then, she walks into a jazz club, and then he plays the song that made her fall in love with him. And this whole elaborate sequence of like dancing on stage and playing out like how it would have gone with him following her to Paris and learning to play more jazz in the Paris club, and then them having a baby. And this whole other thing happens. And in my head, I'm like, oh, because I'm a writer. I've written a book and am attempting to produce other writery things. And in my head, I'm like, oh, okay. So this is actually the mindfuck where we find out that this whole time she's been talking about this script that she's writing about her life, and we don't get to see. And really, this whole movie has been like a dramatization of her life being a play or a movie or something. And we're seeing how the events really fall out in musical form because it's a fucking old style musical. And I'm like, okay, that's genius. But that's not what the fucking happens in the movie. Like, that is not the thing that happens. What happens is all of this happens, and then it comes back to reality, and they give each other a nod, and she walks out with this douchebag guy who we've never met and have had no previous connection with, and she goes off to her life, and he goes off his life, and the credits roll. And at the end of that movie, I said, fuck you, La La Land. Fuck you right in the ass, you piece of shit garbage. And here's why.
Okay.
2 reasons. 1, I think that's a fucking terrible ending and a fucking terrible message. And I understand why Hollywood loves that, because it's like, oh, you go to Hollywood, you're going to get your dreams crushed. And if you're going to have to pursue your dreams, you have to marry some douchebag guy you don't really love and have some kid in order to pursue your fucking career, because you can't have true love and a career at the same time. Fuck you, Hollywood. Fuck you. That's what I have to say about that. I'm very passionate about this. I saw it last night. And then furthermore, my number 2 is, if I had written that scene, I would have left it open-ended so that whoever saw it, if it's like me and before the credits rolled, I'm like, oh, we're actually seeing this real, and she did achieve her dream. Happy ending. True love conquers all, god damn it. Or if you're a sardonic person who doesn't like life, you could see it as, oh, true love can't conquer all, and she has to go her way to make her career. You could have it both ways. But instead, they'd fucking give you this fucking piece of shit ending, and I fucking hated it.
Well, so I think from the way that sounds, it sounds like it actually plays into the old conventions of movie musicals, where you had like one big... So a lot of these movies would be like 3 hours long, right? So I only know this because I took a film course once before I dropped out of college. It was a movie genre class, and it was about musicals. And so we watched Oklahoma. They had like Oklahoma, like Singing in the Rain, all these different movie musicals for every class. It was awesome. And the concept that you're talking about, the huge like number at the end, right before the ending, those would generally happen like, I think around like 11:30
Okay.
Yeah, if I can remember, like musical tropes.
Okay.
But movie musical tropes. It sounds like it actually plays into that, which makes me more interested to finish that movie.
Okay.
But like
to each his own.
Yeah. But I can understand. It's just such an archaic genre that we don't need any. Like
Agreed.
Yeah, they're nice for a while. They're good for their form while they exist. But as our attention spans have shortened and so forth, that we don't really need that anymore. And I can see why you'd be upset. For somebody who loves movie musicals, that ending is probably perfect.
Okay, fair enough. I mean,
so there's the counterpoint from a guy who hasn't seen the ending of that movie.
Well, I guess that's also an interesting perspective as well. I mean, I looked it up online, Googled furiously, the fuck was that ending in La La Land? And I found this article from the two directors, and they were like, yeah, we really wanted to like go against conventions and not end with the traditional Hollywood fairy tale, because Hollywood isn't a traditional fairy tale. And then I was like, now, that's kind of bullshit, in my opinion.
Yeah, that sounds like some heavy-handed bullshit.
That's bullshit, because the fucking character, or the actress, Emma Stone, graduated high school early, moved with her mom to LA while her mom worked, and she auditioned for 6 years before she got parts. And then she fell in love with motherfucking Spider-Man #2 and is on the top of her career.
Yeah.
So, fuck you. The Hollywood dream doesn't exist because your fucking actress is in your goddamn ment. So anyway.
Now, real quick, just to let you know what happened with me. Got up, went and got Jess flowers. I got her these orange roses.
Yeah.
We're very anti. Red roses is too cliche, so I got her orange because they were really pretty. Chocolate. She loves the conversation hearts, the little chalky heart things.
Yeah.
She loves them. So I got her like 36 boxes of them.
Okay.
Right? I go overboard. I got her a card, made her cry. So I was like, babe, come on, we're going to go out. Because I work on Wednesday. Wednesday was Valentine's Day. So we went on Thursday, on Friday. So we were like, we're going to go see a movie. And she was like, cool. What movie do you want to go see? I'm like, you call it. And she's like, I really want to go see The Greatest Showman.
Oh, okay.
I said, okay, because I know The Greatest Showman is P.T. Barnum. It's a circus movie. Wrong.
You didn't see a trailer, did you, good sir?
I did not, good sir.
No.
You know anything about me? I don't look before I leave when it comes to movies. I'm a cinephile. I can find something good in that. Okay? It was a movie.
Yeah.
It was 2 hours and 25 minutes of my life. I mean, the trailers were good.
Yeah.
I got to eat popcorn and Milk Duds.
Oh, there you go.
I had Chick-fil-A.
There you go.
There you go.
They have awesome fries.
Yeah, they do. On the way out, she went, and I quote, we're gonna have to go see a couple of your movies, aren't we? I'm like, oh yes. Oh yeah. I was mad because movie tickets are not cheap, sir.
Yeah, no, they're not.
I was literally going, am I going to take an $18 nap?
Yes.
And I'm looking over at her, and she's singing with the fucking words. I'm like, how do you know the words to this song? They just started it. But then I found out she got the soundtrack on Spotify and all that good shit. So, yeah, I was out.
She was pre-indoctrinated before she saw the film.
Yeah,
I get you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jenny and I, so our anniversary, we don't have a solid date for our anniversary, but we do have a solid time frame in which we celebrate it. Our anniversary is the 4th weekend of February, and so most of the time we do not celebrate Valentine's Day other than to just hang out together.
All right, Dan, not to be a complete dick, but we are down to
Okay.
5 minutes on this motherfucking battery.
All right, I will be very quick. I will be very quick. So basically all we did, we just hung out. I forget what movie we watched, but we did oh no, wait. Yeah, I can't remember what movie we watched. But we ate Goodfellas pizza, which is awesome.
Okay.
And just stayed in the entire night. It was awesome.
Groovy.
There was no issues whatsoever. And it's all because we did already give each other our anniversary gifts. I got her a vegetarian cookbook from America's Test Kitchen, which
Cool.
is perfect for her. She's a pescatarian technically, but it worked out. And then she got me some beard stuff, which is so nice, from
Okay.
Grave Before Shave. And I've been putting that in my face every day, and just it's the best gift for me right now.
What does it do? Make your beard soft or what?
So one of them's shampoo.
Okay.
It's a beard shampoo that doesn't strip any oils out. And then I
Groovy.
got a beard oil. It's the Bay Rum beard oil from Grave Before Shave. And it's just put that in. It's very coconutty. It's very nice. Anyways, that was my Valentine's Day without any fuck ups. So there you go. See, I told you I'd wrap it up quick.
Sweet.
There you
Alrighty.
go.
So I guess this brings us to the literal. Oh God, that's a lot of warning signs. I turned my screen on. There's 2 fucking
Alright.
warning signs. Low battery.
Stop
Yeah.
talking about the warning signs and let's go.
Okay, all right. We're closing this episode out before we fucking crash and die. Once again, this has been the Fork in Your Ear podcast. I'm your host, as always, author, podcaster, gamer, Tim K.A. Trotter. You can find all my stuff at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. And also check out my other podcast, Rising Tide, a Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast, on there as well. And if I'm talking too fast, you might want to hit that slow down button on your podcast player of choice, because we don't have a choice because the battery's dying fast. And check out my book, The Citadel Arrival, available right now on Amazon Kindle and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99. Buy a book, support the show. Want to thank my lovely co-host, Mike List, for bringing our esteemed guest, who was absolutely fucking fantastic. I hope we become good friends, good sir, and do lots of podcasts in the future. You can find Mike's stuff on
at the RNG Castle.
Yeah, go.
For everything. You can find us at the RNG Castle and everything. You can find me, Buster Knuckle 13 on Twitter. Go ahead, Dan.
You can find me on Twitch at Danfinity, DANFINITY. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DanFinitwitch. See what I did there?
Ooh, fantastic. And with that, we are out.
Shazam!
Oh yeah, and get forked. Do you have a catchphrase, Dan? Now's your time.
Hail Satan?
To
bad.
Danfinity and
Bad.
beyond?
To
Bad.
infinity and beyond.
Okay, there we go. Hail Satan. Ah, damn it.
Thank you for listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast. You can find our podcast at www.dynamicworksproductions.com. Feel free to email us at dynamicworks@mac.com.
This is Dominic Armato, the voice of Guybrush Threepwood, and you're listening to a Dynamic Works production podcast.
The Citadel, Arrival, is the first installment in a series of epic science fiction short stories reminiscent of the Pulp Fiction style. It's a fast-paced story that will take you through twists and turns that you will not expect, until they are thrust upon you with all the force, excitement, and chaos of a plasma cannon blast. The story follows Katarl, a nobody cog in the working wheels of a futuristic society run completely by Megacorp, a corporation that carefully runs and manages the lives of the people living under its sphere of power. On one of Katarl's few and far between days off from work, an outing he had hoped would be fun and relaxing turns into an explosive adventure that drags him kicking and screaming into situations and challenges that will make him question every aspect of his life. Watch this colorful tapestry unfurl as Katarl and his newfound allies find their way through this classic, yet oddly surprising tale of good and evil, where nothing is quite what it appears to be. That's The Citadel, A Rival by author Tim K. Trotter. Available right now on Amazon Kindle Store and iTunes iBookstore for only $2.99.
Oh my gosh.
I just stopped recording. We're good?
Yeah.
All right, stop recording.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
Hey.
Can you hear me? Hey, what's going on?
Oh,
Not too much.
dear God. The video is killing my cell phone.
I can turn it off.
Yeah, so the most interesting thing just happened. Literally 5 minutes ago, my power went out. I'm tethered to my phone and I'm on laptop power.
All right.
So if you could kill the video, my poor little cell phone would be appreciated.
All right, will do. Let me take care of it here. There we go. How's that work? That sound good?
That does sound a lot better, and you sound less glitchy. Am I coming through okay? I got like
Yeah, you
I got
sound great.
two bars, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you sound great, man. Okay, so
Fantastic.
figured out the Netflix situation. And let me see if I can play something and hear the conversation. And if also I can record it.
You're just testing out your rig, Dan?
Yeah, dude, I have not done anything with it yet.
Okay.
There we go. All right, so start at 0. I can still hear you guys.
Okay. What's the title of this movie called?
It is a futile and stupid gesture. It has, well, we can talk about it more.
There it is. Okay, I see it.
Yeah, it's real good.
Okay. So
Okay, I'm at 0, ready to go.
So
I'm at 0.
nobody told me anything about we were doing a movie show.
Yes, I did. Several times.
Yeah, but she didn't. Okay.
All right. So what do we need to do? What do we need to do to adjust?
Well, I have no idea. I mean, I'm tethered. I'm
Oh, yeah, 'cause
somewhat
you're
limited
tethered.
at the moment. What do you want me
Yeah.
to do?
Okay.
I don't know.
So
We could
here's
talk about the movie, and you could be like, "That sounds real nice."
Sure. I mean, we could just we could just do a clusterfuck show because like I was prepared to do a regular podcast anyway.
I'm
So
down with whatever.
we could
man.
just do that simultaneously while you guys do this movie that I can't see.
I mean, this is definitely a fork in your ear type of shit. So
yeah,
I'm down.
It's
if you
really
guys are down.
forked. That's what it is. That's for sure.
It's super forked.
I'm good with
Maximum
whatever.
forked.
Let me. I'm gonna make a little bit of coffee, like a spot of coffee, real quick,
That sounds
All right.
good.
and we will. I'll be back. Okay.
No problem.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'm also gonna try to record the audio,
Okay.
so that I can send you the file at the end, and hopefully have it so that it sounds halfway decent on my end.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna have
Basically-
30 recordings, Tim. You're good to go, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm
that sounds fantastic.
using this as like a guinea pig for my podcast as well. So
Sounds good.
We'll see what my rig can handle.
I'm
All right.
recording in Logic Pro X for approximately 1 hour and 55 minutes before my laptop battery shits out.
Okay, sounds good. I'll make the coffee quick then. Be right back.
All right. Also, Tim, I totally forgot that since you were tethered, you cannot do the Netflix thing. It blew through my mind just now.
I mean, I could, but I don't know. I don't think I have
Oh.
the bandwidth, dude. I'm looking at my.
No.
I have a little stat bar thing, and I've got download 12 kilobits, upload 10 kilobits.
no.
The fact you can hear me at all is a fucking miracle.
Well, you see, this will work for the fact that this will help you like steer the conversation.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm
You know what
gonna.
I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop that. That note in that I had here. And we'll just let the viewers know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah. Also, do you want me to introduce Dan since I know like his accolades and whatnot, or do you want to do
Yeah,
it just
sure.
because? Okay.
I watched like a Twitch of him for like 15 minutes, but beyond that, I know literally nothing about him other than you said he came from DTR.
Mm-hmm.
So, off to great start. Great start, I say.
Hey, man.
So I'm going to have literally like nothing. Like I'm going to turn my screen off to maximize battery.
Yeah.
I've got my phone. It's plugged into a big ass battery, so it ain't dying. So I'm gonna be completely blind here.
Okay.
So
all right, for the sake of time, I decided against the coffee and got a ginger ale instead. So
nice. Okay.
Right, well, let me do the introductions real quick, just so
God's
we can be.
sakes, what the hell?
Right.
Oh no.
Well, okay.
Hold on.
I guess we're.
When do you want me
smashing
to start
pots.
recording?
Well,
I mean, we're recording.
Playing?
We record as soon as we call.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm recording now.
Sounds
Okay.
fantastic.
Because I'm right now at the title screen, Dan. It says a futile and stupid gesture at 0. So as soon as I hit X, it'll start.
Okay.
And Tim will count us down. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On 1, we hit start, and then throughout the time I'll be like, "Are you looking at this?"
Yeah.
And then, we'll try to sync up as best we can.
And I'll just try to imagine the film.
And then we'll just tell you what's going on.
Well, yeah, we'll tell you what's going on.
Also, Tim has the topics we normally cover.
Yeah.
So he'll kind of.
While you were off not getting coffee, so I wrote a list because I thought we were doing a regular show today. I'm sending it in the Skype chat now. That's basically how I was going to talk about it. But then I'm turning off my screen to maximize battery here. Because I'm running a professional mic as well off of this poor old laptop, and it's like, what do you mean you want power? So I will be literally completely blind, other than your guys' voices and whatnot. So here's this, and I'm turning off my screen.
Okay.
Okay, my screen is off. I'll assume I'm still talking to you guys because I can hear the hiss. The microphone. Fantastic.
I can turn off my second screen and just kind of hope for the best if you need me to.
Okay, so let's see here.
Is that better?
Is what better? Oh, the hiss? That's just microphone hiss. That's normal hiss, dude.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like my.
No. That's the normal microphone.
That's the dulcet tones. Yeah. That's the dulcet tones of a powered microphone.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. See, Mike recently joined the club of using a real microphone to record.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, what does this shit do?
Yeah, I'm super like into it now, Dan. Wait till you come back on RNG, dude.
Dude, I can't wait. I hope I sound all right. I've got a Blue Yeti rolling right now.
Well, that is what I'm using. So you, good sir, are in fantastic company.
Excellent.
Yes.
We're all using blues. Hey, we're all in the same company.
Yes, there you go. Can't go wrong with blue.
Okay.
Nope. All right.
You can't.
All right. Are we ready to do this? Let's do this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So hold on.
So I'm going to do a countdown? Is that what you want me to do? So you guys can start your movie as well?
Well, I figured what we'll do is we'll do the intros first, Tim.
Okay.
And then you'll explain the situation, and then you'll go, okay, guys, 5, 4, 3. Well, let Dan tell everybody what the movie is, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hit start, hit X or begin, whatever.
Gotcha.
And then we'll just go from there, and then you can start the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, here we go.